All right, it's Media Day, and we are joined with Brandon Hickman from the Dallas Jesuit Rangers for 7-6A talk. Coach, you guys one district loss in the last 2 years, and the district looks pretty similar except for that one interesting ad with Highland Park jumping in. What are your thoughts on 7-6A for 2022 as far as how you're going to try to strive for another district title?
It's exciting. We haven't played Highland Park, I think, since 2002, so it's been 20 years. I know a lot of our other sports play Highland Park, and it's become kind of a rivalry with those sports. So I think it adds another great team to the mix. It's exciting for our kids to be able to play against a lot of kids that they know.
You guys had some turnover there. You only got a couple returners on both sides of the ball, but with the inexperience, you guys, when you were rolling through the district, you threw 3 shutouts up last year. I'm sure some of these guys got some significant playing time last year that are going to be starters this year. Maybe talk a little bit about some of the offensive guys you hope to step up this year.
Last season we had the injury bug a little bit. We lost people. Many people don't realize we lost 14 starters. So we had a lot of sophomores that played last season, got a lot of experience. I think we brought up 12 sophomores that were on varsity. So, no, we're excited offensively. We've got 2 quarterbacks we feel really good about. Most of our offensive line graduated, but we have 1 returning starter. I really like our skill position. We've got 5 or 6 receivers that I feel like are going to be really good this season for us. So, nothing's going to change for us offensively. We'll still tempo and run the ball and throw it around a little bit.
You guys are, or at least the last couple of years, have been known for having that athlete guy on your team. Well, I guess 2-3 years ago was E.J. Smith, but last year was Robert Fitzgerald, where you could kind of plug him in where you needed him because he was such a great athlete. Do you see Jake Musso taking that role this year because he's such a great athlete?
It's funny you said that because our defensive coordinator, Don Woods, and I go on a walk every day after workouts, and that name, we said the exact same thing. We feel like he could be a guy that could be a lot like Robert in that sense. Jake had a really good junior year. He's had a great summer. He will be a guy who will return some for us, play receiver, obviously running back, and then we might slip him in a little bit at safety or corner just to get him on the field because he's a good athlete.
Talk to us about the quarterback position with Gage moving on. You talked about 2 guys. We know about Brandon Schmidt. Who's the second guy that you're talking about, and how do you hope to see? Is one of them going to win out at full-time position, or are you going to maybe be using both?
Well, both of them are talented. We feel really good about Charlie Schmidt, who is our kind of came out of spring as a starter, but Will Greenwood, he's 6'6". Got a big frame. He's a guy that can get in there and do some things as well. So we're real excited about those 2 quarterbacks. Charlie played quite a bit last year, kind of mop up minutes on varsity behind Gage. We felt good with the way that he played. And then, they both are multi-sport athletes, which is great. Charlie plays lacrosse. He's an All-American lacrosse player. And Will Greenwood is a baseball pitcher. So we didn't really get to see them a whole lot in the spring except for a week. And I was really pleased with how much Charlie and Will have improved over just 1 year. They've gotten stronger. They seem to be real familiar with our offense.
Yeah, I think I accidentally said Brandon Schmidt. I got Prosper Coach on my mind. I guess you're lucky I didn't say Mike Schmidt, because I'm growing up in the 80s. I might throw a Philly at you. But yeah. One of the players, you talked about the injury bugs, and one of the players that people didn't get to see a lot of last year was Cameron Martin at running back. What do you hope he brings to the table? Is he fully recovered from his injury?
We think Cameron's going to be ready to go in August. He's now moving and cutting. Cameron had a really good season last year. The first games, he was explosive. He made a big jump from the year before and did some great things, especially the Lake Highlands game where he – I think he rushed for over 100 and he caught 100 yards. And he went down with the knee injury. So we're excited that he's going to be back. He should be good to go in August. He's been rehabbing it and he's been working out with us. And then we've also got another young man, Reed Pfaffenberg, that we feel good about as well. That's had a great summer, very productive. He's gotten bigger, stronger. He filled that role last year and kind of stepped in, which was a big surprise for us because Reed came in I would say, third or fourth string running back. And that's where we got down to last year at the end of the year. We had to end those guys, and he was prepared and ready. And, he played 4 games, 2 playoff games. And, I think he's going to be another guy. We'll have a nice 1-2 punch with Reed and Cameron.
Well, let's talk a little defensively. We mentioned the three shutouts during district play last year, but I do know in the 2 losses that you had, you gave up quite a few points. Granted, it's against the teams that are traditionally offensive powers, but how do you hope your defense kind of responds, especially you hate to go into off season with the loss you kind of took to Geyer and have that sitting in your head, but will that be a motivating factor to your defense to say, hey, let's shut these teams down?
I think so. I think defensively, obviously we don't have Robert at safety. He was kind of the field general, but we've got a lot of guys that we feel really good about. I will say as a defense, I feel like we're faster than we were a year ago. We've taken some guys and kind of moved them around a little bit, moved some linebackers to defensive line. And, we got Jamison Kemp in the middle there. That's our nose guard. He's a first team all district player. That's going to be we feel like going to be a solid player for us in there. But like I said, our linebackers, the 4 that we have right now, we feel really good about in the spring. There's probably 6 guys that we can play, but overall speed wise, we're a lot faster this year, which I think will help us down the road.
We talked a lot about Highland Park earlier, but the rest of the district seemed to improve a little bit last year, especially Berkner and Pierce and them. Talk about how you're going to handle the rest of the district and what you look for out of 7-6A besides Highland Park.
You got to show up every week to play, and that's something we stress to our guys is you better be ready every week because all the 7-6A coaches, they're all very well coached teams, and their kids play hard. And there's been big improvements from Berkner and Lake Highlands and us has become a nice rivalry. It used to be back in the early 2000s. That's kind of coming back, which is neat, exciting. And then you've got Pierce, and they're always talented. And so, yeah, you have to be ready to go. And then you throw in Irving Nemitz, who last year, played in the first round playoff game, almost pulled that one out. So, it's a competitive district. It's the first time I've ever been in a 9-team district. So having those 2 non-district games hopefully will prepare us because we roll right into, district play week 3. And so we got to be ready to go early on. Some of those big key district games are early in our season.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got 9. We got September 30th circled, obviously, for your road trip down to Highland Park. But speak about having now just the 2 non-district games. You said you got to get ready early. What 2 teams do you have, and how do you hope they get you prepared for jumping right into district play?
Well, I always try to, build our non-district schedule, make it big. I think that's important. The record, you can throw that window. At some point, you're going to play really good teams, and you got to be prepared. So we go Hebron the first game of the season, Jesuit, and then we will play Rockwall again, who has a really talented team. I think that's going to be a really good game for us. Kind of see where we're at as a metric. I think that was a turning point for us last season. I didn't think we were ready to play in their homecoming, and they got after us pretty good. So, but after that, our kids kind of went on a little run there. So I like playing games like that because it prepares you for, the Denton Geyers or the Arlington you're going to play in the playoffs. But it's just kind of different having 2 games, instead of 3. But I do like the 2 non-district games a lot. I think it's going to make us a better team playing these 2 teams.
Excellent. Well, hey, I appreciate you joining us, and good luck through the season play. I know we do this a little bit early, but hey, we're in Texas. It's never too early to talk high school football. So I appreciate you joining me.
That's all right. Thank you, Ward. I appreciate you. Take care.
No problem.